Knowing these can save you a lifetime of pain, and it'll only cost you a few minutes. In this video, I'm going to cover 9 ways to know that your girl will cheat. These are not all inclusive, but if you know these, they'll drastically minimize the probability of her potentially cheating in the future. So why listen to me? I've spent the last 6 years helping hundreds of guys get the girl, helping them with their dating, and now I'm working with guys to keep the girl, right? Because there's too much content out there focusing on getting the girl, there's not enough on keeping the girl. And that's what essentially everyone wants. They want a high quality, high value girl that they can create a relationship with, and maybe, if they want down the line, a family as well. The reason I make these videos is because I love helping guys level up, and it also keeps me as sharp as possible. Let's get into the video. Number 1, she has a wandering eye. Super simple. Does she look at other men when you're with her? What this means is that she's still very interested in other male attention, even though she's with you. That's only going to lead to problems down the line. I've seen it with my past relationships, and I've seen it with relationships that my clients have had. Number 2, she looks for attention online and offline. This is slightly different to number 1. And the reason it's different is because instead of just looking at men, she's actively trying to get their attention. What does this look like online? Obviously posting provocative pictures. There's only one reason a woman will do that, and that's purely for the attention from other men. There's no other reason. Dressing provocatively in real life, when she's alone or when she's with you, again, there's only... I hate it when people say, oh, you know, women just need to express themselves, but women know exactly what they're doing, right? I understand if a dress is sexy and she wants to look sexy for your birthday, or you go out for a nice meal, completely acceptable, right? But if this is a common occurrence, it's extremely slutty looking. There are many shades of gray, right? It's not black or white, but if it's extremely slutty looking, very exposing, that's just not the type of girl that you want, right? Because again, she's only doing that for one reason. That's not confidence and nonsense. Forget that fucking bullshit. She just wants attention. And sooner or later, when she's had a few drinks and you're not there, she's gonna get that attention and she's probably gonna act on it. Number 3, oh, this is juicy. She still parties with the girls. Fuck that, right? Fuck that. From my experience and from experience that I've had with working with clients, this is one of the biggest indicators that your girl will cheat. The stories that I've heard are just, man, they would keep you up at night. There's only, girls often say, you know, I go out and I just like to dance, I like to express myself. A lot of the reason why women go out at night to bars or clubs is to get attention from other men, right? If your girl is attractive, which hopefully she is, if she's a complete whale, then all right, you're safe. But if she's a good looking girl, she's gonna get hit on hundreds of times in one night, hundreds of times. Why would you put yourself into that situation if you have someone in your life? If you're with someone that you're truly committed to, there is no reason, right? There's zero reason that you put yourself into that sort of environment unless you want that sort of attention. Now I understand, again, it's not black or white. There are many shades of gray, 50 shades of gray. Apparently, but obviously, you know, if your girl goes out for a dinner with the other girls, right, they go to some bar or something, it's a bar, restaurant, it's her girlfriend's birthday, whatever, I get it, right? But if this is a common occurrence, bars, nightclubs, every other weekend, not the type of girl that you want to be with. Next on the list, she does the girl trips. Now, again, there are many shades of gray, but these are when things go down, right? When girls are in foreign countries and they're partying and they're with their friends and they're going to clubs, that is where probably the majority of where naughtiness takes place. So if your girl is deeply committed to you and she still wants to go on these crazy, wild adventures with her girlfriends where they go to places, you know, exotic lands, go out clubbing, go out partying, drinking a lot, this is a big no-no, right? This is a big no-no. Again, girls will run circles around men when it comes to understanding social dynamics. Period. She knows exactly what type of things girls get up to. And again, if a girl is truly committed to you, she's not going to be doing that. Period, right? So again, if this is something that your committed woman is doing, I would take a good look at your relationship and just look at where her priorities are. Again, you want to be thinking from the perspective of, is this girl someone that I could start a family with? Is she going to be loyal? Is she going to be a dedicated mother to my children one day? And a lot of the time, if she's doing these sorts of things, probably not. This is widely accepted in the Anglosphere because of girl power, and I'm just not buying it. It's complete nonsense, right? Complete nonsense. Cut this off. Next on the list, her mom has had affairs in her marriage. Again, this is not something that people often want to speak about, but oftentimes, if a kid has grown up, if a girl has grown up in a family where she's she's been exposed to this type of behavior. It doesn't necessarily mean that it was pleasant, but what it does mean is that it was familiar. And a lot of the time that imprints behavior, or that imprints the blueprint of someone's psyche. And what they'll end up doing is they'll attract that sort of behavior without even being aware of it later on in life in their relationships. Again, you just want to be aware of these things, because a lot of the time, just understanding these and catching these right at the beginning, I recommend the previous points that I've just gone over. These are things that you want to be aware of in the dating phase, right? These are basically red flags that you want to look out for. So these things that I've gone over, the previous few points of what to look out for or how to know whether she's going to cheat on you, be aware of those in the initial phases of the dating. And the reason for this is because you can weed them out before you start growing feelings for a girl. It just saves a lot of time and heartbreak down the line. The next points are going to be what you need to look out for in the actual relationship. Next point, this is huge. She hangs out with cheaters. If your girl hangs out with cheaters, you either need to stop that relationship or she needs to stop hanging out with those people. And the reason for that is because, as cliche as this is, you've probably heard this phrase so many times before, which is you become the average of the 5 people you hang around with. You will take on their behaviors, you will take on their beliefs, even if you are unaware you're doing so. Right? So if cheating on partners has been normalized in her friendship group, year 1, maybe she'll be fine. Maybe she won't do it. Year 2, maybe she'll be fine. Maybe year 3, maybe. Year 4, maybe. But I can guarantee that she will become the average of the behavior from the people that she hangs out with. Be aware of that. Next one, you stop leveling up. This is more of something that you can do rather than looking out for red flags on her side. You have to level up in the relationship. I made a whole video about this. I'll put a tag somewhere here on the screen. Go and watch that. And I outline exactly how to do that in your relationship. But you need to keep on leveling up throughout the relationship. And the reason for this is because the power dynamic of any strong, solid relationship between a guy and a girl, obviously the romantic form, the girl has to be looking up to you. You are normally looking down. What I mean by that is men date across and down, women date across and up. She wants to chase you. She wants you to be higher value than her. A lot of the time what ends up happening in relationships, I've seen this time and time again, is that the guy will get the girl, and when he gets the girl, he'll be on his purpose, he'll be gymming, he'll be exercising, he'll be staying sharp, he'll be focusing on his goals, and then he gets the girl and he puts his feet up. Why? Because a lot of the behavior that men have is fueled by sex, right? A lot of the things that we do is just to gain sex. Now, what happens is that in the relationship, because the guy is getting laid on a continual basis, he thinks my job is done. Whether he's aware of it or not, puts his foot up, stops focusing on his goals. He makes her his entire focus. He gets a little bit out of shape and she just thinks, this is not what I signed up for. I'm not interested in this. And that is when she may start potentially having a wondering eye. Is it acceptable behavior? Of course not, right? Of course not. But the reason I'm making this video is to mitigate yourself against any potential ways that she can cheat, right? And one of those ways is just fucking being a boss, just to the degree where she looks at you and she goes, this is my best option. I'm not going to do better than this. I have to stay with this guy. As soon as your value starts dropping, she'll start thinking, I can do better than this, right? And that's not the feeling that you want to instill in her. Also, it's just the biggest form of disrespect to her, right? As it would be the same for her. If she gets morbidly obese, you just think, this is not what I fucking signed up for. I'm out. Cheers. Same with her, completely acceptable. The next point, you don't emotionally stimulate her. This is not spoken about enough, but what does this mean? Women want to have fun. Women crave emotion. They crave all forms of emotion. That's why women, in one instance, will be extremely happy and over the moon and in a good mood, and then the next minute they'll be sad, they'll be angry, they'll want to pick a fight with you. It's the reason why they want to watch movies and they want to cry. It's the reason why they want to watch movies like 50 Shades of Grey and get those sorts of emotions as well. Why? Because they want the range of emotions. They want the range of emotions. And if they don't get that, they'll get bored. If they're not emotionally stimulated, they'll get bored. So how can you do this as a man, right? Sometimes you have to create those emotions in the relationship. Not sometimes, actually you need to do this all the time, right? You need to emotionally stimulate your girl. You need to be adventurous. Right? You need to sometimes be happy with her. You need to sometimes artificially create a little bit of drama with her. You need to do spontaneous trips at the drop of a hat. You need to take days away, and you need to have those sad moments with her. You need to have those happy moments with her. She needs to experience all of the emotions. You need to live an interesting life, which is essentially the easiest way of just doing that. If you don't do that, she's going to get bored. period. Women want to feel emotions. And if you don't create those, a really good woman will try to start creating those in your relationship. What do I mean by that? She'll want to spend more time with you. She'll want to try and do fun, adventurous dates with you, right? She'll want to, go out on the town with you. She'll want to include you in those, but it's not actually her job to do so, right? It's your job to emotionally stimulate her. Otherwise, she's going to get bored. And again, just to preface this, it's never an excuse for a woman to cheat. But again, we want to mitigate against that as much as possible. Finally, the last point, which is she does fuck all day. Again, what does this mean, right? If you are the provider, a lot of the time, women don't have to do anything, but that's not actually good. When you are the provider, which I recommend all men doing so, right? I truly believe that the man has the masculine role. He provides, he leads the relationship, he calls the shots. The woman, her role is the feminine role, right? She looks after the house, she cooks for you, she provides the feminine energy. That's her role. Neither one is better than the other, right? You are a team working together towards their goal. Neither one is better. And that's where modern relationships rarely messes up, is because they say one is better than the other, and they're not, right? They're just different. And you get together, you work as a team, and you move towards your common goal. With that being said though, if you are provider, a lot of the time the girl has the option to do nothing, right? She doesn't have to do anything in terms of making money or looking after you financially. So she has a lot of free time. She doesn't necessarily need to work to create money. She can, but what I would recommend is that she stays busy doing something. It can be anything. It can be art and fucking crafts. It can be having a side job in a cafe, not for money, but just because she enjoys doing that. It can be having her side hustle that keeps her busy. It should just be something. Again, I'm not saying that it's good to cheat, but a lot of the time, if someone is bored, sitting around doing nothing all day, what they're going to look for? They're going to look for emotional stimulation. What is one form of emotional stimulation? Looking outside of your relationship. So again, good woman will not do this, but we want to mitigate against this as much as possible. The more busy someone is, the less mischief they will get up to. With that being said, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I will make another one next week. Obviously, every single week, we're going to be releasing videos. I'm going to be doing some social experiments as well. I had another channel that did quite well based on social experiments. I just didn't want to keep on doing that because it didn't get me going, right? I prefer education. I prefer helping guys level up. That's my true calling, and that's why I made the second channel. So every single Friday video, stay tuned. Again, I'm going to do some social style videos. Not as extreme as the social experiments that I was doing before, but they are going to include other people, street interviews, things of that nature. I'll see you in the next video. As always, if you need any help with this, book a call with the link below. I'll see you next week.